Alright, ladies, gentlemen, let's get this party started. I'm using a new recording system called Screen-O-Matic, which you can actually like record your face as well as like use screen content. I'm trying it out. Let me know which one you prefer. So I'd use Screen-O-Matic to do the comparative video that I shot. Yeah, so let me know if like you either want my face there or you don't want my face there. Some people like it. Studies show that kids learn better if they can see your face while you're explaining things. But then some kids have told me, nah, ditch the face. And look, I'd be happy to not record my face, but if it helps people learn, then I'll let you look at my head. Yeah, but I wouldn't be opposed to not doing it. Anyway, so today we're going to have a look at another comparative essay topic. Did anyone have a preference of a topic that they saw that they wanted to have a go at in AIM because they had no idea what to do with it? There are a bunch of them. I think there are around like 30-something. Yeah. Oh, no, there's more. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so there is 50-something. There are a lot.
I like the memory, if we could do the memory.
Something on memory would be nice.
You know, I think kids get confused.
The boys want 42. Okay. I think they're just picking a number. 42. Each of the oppressed characters in the text have hopes for a better future, yet they ultimately fail. Why? Do you want to do that one? I literally don't care. So, yes? No? It's as good as any.
Oh, shut up.
Yes. Are you next door?
Yeah, I'm going.
Cool. Oh, what are you going to do? Cool. By the by, so I've started running a little bit of an informal homework club. I know, exciting. It's every day, unless I've got something on. So this Friday I have a physio appointment, but usually Monday to Friday, come to my office as soon as the bell rings and say, Miss, I want to do some study. You come in, you sit, you study, I take your phone away or anything that's going to distract you. You tell me what you want to achieve by the end of it, and I ensure that you get that done.
Your office?
Usually I'd pick a classroom because usually there's a couple of people and my office is really squishy. So it's kind of like a 1.5 room. Yeah, it's not super comfortable. Anyway, so if you want to come along, just send me an email or just turn up and I'll find your space. Alright. Just because some people don't have a lot of self-discipline, you know, and they need someone to actually enforce that onto them. And I'm quite happy to be that person. So, here we go. The question that we are looking at is each of the oppressed characters in these texts has hope for a better future, yet they ultimately fail. Why? Okay, so the trick in this question that mid-range people will fall into is they'll write a character essay. Like that's automatically what that question is doing. It's going, right, who can we cull from the top half? The bottom half will all go, okay, well, I'm going to write a paragraph on Whitechapel, a paragraph on this person, a paragraph on that person. And that'll cut their marking in half. So they go, right, someone who does a character essay, bottom half, easy. And then they'll go, top half, everybody who doesn't do that. Because we're lazy creatures. And if we can find a way to make marking easier, we will take it.
Students, could Isaac Attard please report to room SSO10? Isaac Attard, SSO10. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So, each character, so we have to work out our keywords first. What do you think are the keywords? Oppressed characters, yeah, I think that's a phrase that's obviously important. Hopes for a better future. Yeah, I think that word hopes for a better future, not necessarily getting it, but hoping for it. For a better future. Ultimately fail. So they try, but they don't get it. And then I think what's interesting is that word why. So a mid-low range response that won't kick over into that top half will go, oh, there are people who hope for a better future and they fail. This person fails, this, and they'll talk about like all the failures. The question is not about the failures. The question is, why do they fail? You see what I'm doing there? You see? So you have to make sure that you answer all the questions. Someone who kind of answers by telling us about the failures, the best they can really do is what, 6? Because they haven't answered the full question. They haven't answered the full question. So that word why is really important. Okay? And that's why you have to break down your prompts and really kind of search through them. So, how are we going to structure this bad boy? We're not allowed to structure him through characters, and we shouldn't do that anyway, because... Jordan, did you want a place to just chill and work? Is that what you're looking for? Go across the... No. Go across the hall.
That way. That way.
No. Go across the hall. Go across the hall. Yeah. I know, he's gorgeous. He's gorgeous. We like baby Talef. And it's cute. He's cute because he's copying your hair. It's cute. It's cute. Alright. Alright. So, we don't want to structure it through characters. 1, because we know that that's a trap. And 2, because we know that that's going to make it really hard to actually do any sort of comparison. So, what could we say? What are some things we could say? Yep.
The world will not change for these oppressed characters to their states of illusionment.
Oh, good. Yeah, that they have illusions of either like stations, you know, that they're, you know, above stations they are, that they have some sort of control over their life. Cool. Okay, so yeah, they ultimately fail. Why? Because of states of illusion that lure them to think they can achieve something more, but that's poorly written, but that'll do. Alright. Okay, so we're doing like a paragraph about like illusionment and being, you know, under a kind of state of delusion. Yeah? Okay. What's another one? What's another reason why people can't, why these oppressed characters can't kind of achieve what they want? Yep. Constraints? Social hierarchy? Okay. Because of their status, yeah, in society. Yeah. Okay, because of their status in society, place in...
We could say they know their place, they know their station, like Whitechapel knows his station.
In the social hierarchy. Yeah.
I think it's a bit more than that because like some of them actually have been given privilege, but it's because people say that like they aren't able to achieve what they can.
Yeah, okay, so it's like not just because of their status in society, but it's like the active, like, what would you say? People who are actively oppressing them. Like, you know, like Mr. Whitechapel actively oppressing the reading and you know, the journalists that ignore Nigel, and, you know, so people's active racism.
Would you say the period they're living in? Because even Whitechapel says, you know, I wish it was different, but it's not, maybe sometime in the future. So what was it?
But that's not just,
My grandchildren.
yeah, but that's like society, but like we could go actually pinpoint and go, because of particular racist people's actions, they can't. So like you've got like, so someone like Whitechapel can't kind of go further. No, yeah, because of the society that he's in, he's been kind of like indoctrinated.
Like Nigel, like who tries to actively.
So even when they do try and rise up, they're kind of squashed back down. So, okay, so maybe we could do like a paragraph on they fail because even when they do try and rise up, they're kind of battered down by racism. Yeah? Yeah?
Do you have to say that you know how it says each of the oppressed characters fail? Like there's some characters that don't want a better future because they know that.
Yeah. Well, you could either, yeah. You could do a paragraph on that. That would be really cool too. Yeah.
You don't have to like agree.
No, so you could say, but that would be your third paragraph. So like your third paragraph, you might go, however, some oppressed characters don't have hopes for a better future. And so they don't have that sense of failure because they never try. You know? Trying is the first step to failure.
I don't know if it is kind of the same as the first one, but would you say something like characters like Whitechapel, they're tricked into believing in a better future, like him staying with the master and being obedient? Would you say that's him thinking he has a better future? He's been tricked into that, which is causing him to fail because he's tricking himself into making his life.
Yeah, he's like,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
They're
he's like
trained-
brainwashed
they're
into it.
trained they're trained to have hope in something that's making them fail. Or their own hopes are making them go further back. Because he's not trying to escape or fight it.
Yeah, so okay, so you could,
He's tricked into believing that it's a good thing when it's not. It's sending him backwards.
yeah, I'm just thinking how I would work that in. Whether I would just kind of slot that in with like, because of their status in society, they're kind of brainwashed. You know,
Yeah,
they're kind of
into believing-
deluded into believing that they're
believing that a good
they're
slave
lesser.
is a safe one or whatever.
Yeah. And same with like,
Acknowledge there's two types of slaves.
mm,
The old
Yeah.
slave and
Ooh.
the new slave. So he doesn't realise that it's an alternative that he chooses the model of business.
Yeah, because he thinks it's
He
better.
really believes that it's better.
Yeah, he
Right.
thinks it. he thinks
I'm just
it's
going to
better.
jot down Henrietha's thing while it's still in my head.
We could even say there's no better future for them. Yeah, you could say with no matter what path they take.
That's all right. Look, you're on video.
Oh, hello.
Ha
Grab his Scurvy. Canberra for his Scurvy.
Not all oppressed characters hope for more. Some are conditioned to never strive. Not all suppressed. Oppressed.
They're brainwashed
Yeah.
into believing something.
That kind of like, actually what I've done is kind of joined your idea to Henrietha's idea.
Yeah.
So like, Henrietha was saying like, not all oppressed characters want for more. You know, some are conditioned never to strive for more. That they're
Yeah.
taught that they
Yeah.
shouldn't do it. Yeah, cool. Okay. Well, how about we go with this? These are our 3 paragraphs. Because of states of illusion, or I guess like naivety. We were talking today about naivety in class.
Is it like Chapel and Lydia?
Yeah, that they're young and they're naive, they're stupid,
They
and
haven't seen the bad bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. All right. Happy with that? I think that's actually a really good response. We've kind of said, here are 2 of the reasons. And I think it's kind of good as well because we haven't just kind of just relied on racist. You know, which is like, it's correct. It is kind of part of the reason why they fail. but like that's the easy answer to just go because racism. Do you know what I mean? Like that doesn't really look at the complexities of the issue. It's not just racism why they fail. It's a whole bunch of reasons.
It doesn't actually say the slave, so you could actually look at Lydia as a female.
Yeah, definitely. Ring, ring. Do you need to get that? You can have a phone ring in this. This isn't class. Okay. All right. Cool. Do we want to keep going and come up with more ideas, or do we want to go with those three and start kind of looking at how we'd put them together? Start looking? Okay. All right. Let's move on. All right. So I'm going to take, which do you think is my strongest argument, or the one that I should put first? This one? Right. I don't know, though. I reckon actually the second, because the second one is kind of your most straightforward, that it's like, they are low on the totem pole, racism keeps them down, that's how it is, right? It's like the most straightforward argument. I reckon we go this one, and then we go illusion, and then we do the last one. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And the great thing is, in your SAC, you've got 90 minutes. You know, which is, it's a decent amount of time. You can smash out something pretty decent in 90 minutes. Whereas in the exam, you might kind of leave Lydia to the wayside because you've got too much to address. All right, so this is the paragraph that I'm going to look at. I don't feel like I need to show you what introductions are needing, do we? Do we need to go through intros?
No.
Nah, I feel like it's tacker. It's... That's it. Tack
You
up
mentioned both books, don't you?
Maybe just give them.
titles, authors. Yeah, we can do it.
Just do it. We can go.
We'll do it quickly. We'll do it quickly. We'll do a quick one. Quick one. Okay. Whoop. Da 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 da. Yeah, I do send it. Oh, what do you need, Dub?
Carly's just one guy.
Okay, there you go. Hey, 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 you be nice.
Oh, no, I have Tally, it's alright.
Yeah, but you're still not allowed to bag her. She's wonderful.
And you don't have a big head, does he?
She doesn't.
No.
You know who does have a massive head?
Me.
No. Kirilos Rizkella. What's going on? A kid's head? Huge.
Calvin.
You know it's right.
Calvin's the big one too.
Yeah, Calvin's got a big head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's aware of his head, so.
I once taught a VCAL class that, yeah, yeah.
I reckon Cat's Calvin's bigger.
Maybe we should actually have a competition.
Oh, yes.
Who's got the biggest head? Yeah, we could host it at mock assembly.
Biggest head in
Biggest head in the year level. Look, there's some pretty impressive competition out there. Yeah. It's impressive. All right. So I'm going to quickly knock out a intro because it's easy. So it's tacker as usual. So I need my titles, my authors, contention, arguments. Luckily, my contentions is my argument. My arguments are my contention. There we go. How do we want to start? I don't want to start like everybody else does and kind of go into blah, blah, blah. So I like to kind of start off with like a bit of a like opening statement kind of thing that addresses the question, like the idea in the question, which is like oppression and shattered dreams. Okay, so I could say something like what? I like the phrase shattered dreams. I do, because it's like it hints at like better future, ultimately fail without actually saying either of those words.
Oh, they had hopes and broke.
It's good on screen too.
Did it?
Yeah.
All right. So what could I say? Could I just go something like Fred Daguerre and Tom Wright. Something shattered dreams.
Both express through their characters the theme of broken ideas, broken dreams.
Present the
The inevitability of shattered dreams is present in both of us. Maybe flip it.
yeah.
Ooh, goodness, man.
The what of shattered dreams?
Inevitability. Something like that. Or, do you know what I mean? Something of that ilk.
Ooh, that inevitability.
It's a band, great band, great band.
The inevitability of
Shattered hopes. Well, you got hope already.
A broken dream of the theme of
You know, she's just a rumination.
of the shattering of dreams. I want to work out something with oppressed people, or like
The inevitability of the shattered dreams of those lesser than as presented in.
okay, the inevitability. I can't think.
The inevitable shattered dreams of those.
The inevitability.
The inevitable shattered dreams of
Good.
those who are lesser
The
than.
inevitable shattered dreams of those who toil under oppression is explored by both Fred Daguerre and Tom Wright.
You should have done it.
Black Diggers and the longest. No, I have to do it in order. No, I don't. No. Highlight. I don't need people of colour. Highlight that for people who are oppressed.
Have to say their names again because you already mentioned them.
Well, I just did because, like, otherwise I didn't really associate who wrote what. Yeah. Highlight that. Highlight that. Oppressed people who are naive enough to dream for more. Failure is, I can't say inevitable now because I've used inevitable. Is, what's another word for inevitable?
Certain.
Certain. Good one. Good one. And at least you're listening. We've got a whole bunch of people just having their own conversations. So at least you're paying attention, Ty. Moreover,
Both texts also.
yeah.
It's hard to avoid the listing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've done it. You've done it.
No,
I
I've
don't
got one
think
more.
you need to directly address.
I need to address the last one. I
You
haven't.
did, didn't you?
Nope.
What is it? More aggressive that people close their status.
We'll always hold them back, and then I need to talk
I
about.
don't think you need the status because it's implied in the first sentence. So you could go more of a both blah blah that those who you've done it because it's
I shouldn't do that on camera. Wasn't.
I would not be able to look at myself. I reckon if you go.
I forget that I'm recording myself.
I think you've covered both of the we agrees in that first sentence. Because then you're going to go, they're set up for failure because they're naive and young enough.
Yeah, but I haven't covered that it's because of their status. Not in the first sentence.
Because they're oppressed.
Yeah, but I haven't really covered it directly. And I need that third one.
It's so bland.
I know. We can tidy up in a minute.
Right. So you want that last one?
Yeah.
You can have a
However,
more over.
yeah. Due to
There are those who have been so oppressed that they have conditioned themselves to believe that hope is death.
That's a very long intro, don't you think?
it's got to be because you got to address two texts. Yeah.
Okay, I might just play like I'll play something that's floating from the water, and then I'll sit on that so that I'm not in the water so I can get yelled at on like the full thing. Yeah. See? Gotta think around this stuff. Oh, that's so bad. Oh.
Alright, ladies, gents, now that I've done all the hard work for you and I'm getting a bit fed up, guys, at the moment you're more of a hindrance than a help. Because this is supposed to be help, not hindrance. You know, I write an essay while you lot talk over the top of me. Right. So, let's see what I've got so far. So I've got the inevitable shattered dreams of those who toil under oppression is explored by both Fred Daguerre and Tom Wright. Now the reason I wanted that is because it kind of addresses the idea and just kind of slides me into writing the essay rather than kind of going, Black Diggers and Longest Memory written by blah, 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 which is just a bit kind of too cardboardy bland for me. Anyway, Black Diggers and the Longest Memory, written by Wright and Daguerre respectively. Because I've said their full names like once already, I don't really have to write their full names again. I can refer to them as Wright and Daguerre, or Daguerre, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Highlight that for oppressed people who are naive enough to dream for more, failure is certain. I should have a comment there. For oppressed people who are naive enough to dream for more, failure is certain. Moreover, both texts also suggest that for people of colour, it is their status in society that will always hold them back. Due to the, I think I need like a finally. Finally, due to the oppression that characters in both texts are entrenched in, some characters actually refuse to hope for more. Make sense? Happy with that? It's a little listy in terms of the arguments, but I feel like at least because we've got this like moreover and finally, it kind of creates a little bit more flow.
We were having a conversation about, we were talking about Lydia, not just the black person, but we'd link her in with she probably wouldn't toil. She'd wear more the cloak of oppression. So if you're taking out the blackness from it, she doesn't really toil because she's happy to be in her surroundings.
Okay, so
That was we were just having a conversation.
Yes.
Toil.
so you could change if you wanted to include, yeah,
And people of colour and women too. You add women to that.
yeah.
And minorities. Because you could also look at the guy in the wine glass who he's under the
He's Aboriginal.
not the wine glass, the one that's saying the land rights at the meeting. He's saying no, we've given them away. What's his name? His speaker. Public official.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And even Mr. Whitechapel, who constrains society by when he goes to the gentleman club, he so wants to be included, but then
But he's not. Anyway, let's move forward.
Sorry.
It's all right. Okay, so the first paragraph. So that's our intro. Now we're going to do our first paragraph, which is. Oh, hang on, I'll move my fat head out of the way. There we go. Which is because of their status in society and their place in the social hierarchy, they can't have a better future, right? Okay. All right, so again, we just kind of use teal, but we add something to it. So if you remember from the PowerPoint or the video on the essay structure, where is it? No, that's the video. There we go. All right. We talked about it last lesson about how we're not doing teal anymore, we're doing teakle. So you'll write, sorry. We're going to take a tinkle, exactly, precisely. So we're going to do a topic sentence, we're going to give evidence from text 1, we're going to explain that evidence, then we're going to give evidence from text 2, explain that evidence, and then compare. Okay? It's really important that we compare throughout. One of the big problems that the section B had on the exam last year is that anybody who chose to write a paragraph on the first text, a paragraph on the second text, and then a paragraph comparing often did not do that third paragraph justice because, well, we all know what happens at 3/4 time when we get to essay writing. Your third paragraph is your shit paragraph, 9 times out of 10. Particularly in an exam when you've only got an hour to write. Your third paragraph is kind of the one that lets you down. That's why you put your worst point there, not the one thing that this whole area of study is about. So it's really important that you kind of have, comparison sprinkled throughout. Also, a lot of people find in their exams, and you might have found it in your mid-year exam, that you get to 3/4 of your hour and go, I'm going to have to drop off my third paragraph. I don't have time. If you did that on your comparison and you were planning to write your third paragraph of comparison, you will have a very bad time because there will not be any comparison, which will be sad for you. What would you score an exam piece that has no comparison?
3.
They'll get like zilch.
3.
So that's why you wouldn't want to save it until the last minute. You want to actually have it throughout. Yeah, cool. All right, not to put a bad taste in your mouth, but it's just not something you want to do.
So the money's in comparison.
Yeah, it's a comparative essay. Otherwise, you've just written us a text response.
2. Half of
So anyway, so the the paragraph that we're going to do is because of their status in society or their place in their social hierarchy, they can't have a better future. Okay. How am I going to write this topic sentence? What do you want to say in the topic sentence? Henrietta, this was your baby. What do you want? How should I write my topic sentence? Because of so we want a topic sentence that addresses the idea of because of their status in society, they can't have a better future. Or because of their place in their social hierarchy.
Oh, so
because the characters, because the characters are slaves, because they're people of colour, because they're women, whatever. It's up to you.
Social constraints, social hierarchy constraints any hopeful future.
Okay. Can I play with that? Is that all right? The social hierarchy
Thanks for setting me up over
in
Very good.
both texts. Prevent. What was the last bit you said? Hope for the future. Prevent any hope that. What's another word for oppressed?
Subjugated,
Held back.
Disenfranchised?
marginalised,
Marginalised. I like that. Ethnics. Shall I write that?
Nah.
Your Whittlesea is showing. I'm allowed to say that because I'm moving there. I still haven't been to the Whittlesea pub. I need to work on that.
Oh,
Really?
please,
Even I've been there.
Really?
It's really
Every second
Yeah.
she's been there, I saw been to there. Yeah, Jack Daniel's shirt on playing pool.
Gross.
It was weird. He walked up to my family.
He's in like a. He's.
fucking orange is the new black, like when you see the prison guard.
Yeah.
Like, it's a guy with a mustache.
I wouldn't pub.
He plays in like a pool team.
Oh, does he? I'm really bad.
Jelly.
I wrote, historically, both texts are set in times and places that have social hierarchies set.
I can't hear you. Sorry. Oi!
No, not that one.
Thank you. What did you have, miss?
I wrote, historically, both texts are set in times and places that have social hierarchies set, so that any movement beyond their station is impossible.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
It's fantastic.
Except for inter-slave relations, because you can move up and down the hierarchy.
What? Neither of our texts talk about that, though.
The slave, like, shackles of.
You're talking about
Yeah, but they're
no,
not allowed
that's
to.
conditional respect. Like
They're
in
not
law,
allowed to.
you're okay, Aboriginal person.
No,
Why get fighting
Aboriginals don't have
and
any
why get
hierarchy.
pissed
I'm
off?
talking about in slave hierarchy of life, like, he's like respected, he's one of the biggest, he gets
Still slave.
Why don't you just change it to social values?
No, yeah, but
It's
De
like white
Geer
trash.
doesn't offer us anyone else. De Geer doesn't. We're assuming we're filling the gaps, but he doesn't offer us anyone else. I mean, I like it because I wrote it, but it doesn't.
I like it too. Can I be bothered typing it out?
No, that'll do.
Probably. All right. What evidence are we going to use? What text do you want to start with? Do you want to start with longest memory, or do you want to start with Black Diggers?
What are your two examples?
Longest memory. Yeah. What are our two examples
What
of
are the two
this?
examples that you, why? What are you comparing?
I want to talk about video, and one of them probably the second experiment.
Okay.
Why don't you talk about Lydia and Chapel and how they can't be together because of their status and society?
Okay, because they both, because then I could talk about them at the same time, because she's a woman, she doesn't get a say in, who she wants to marry, and he's a black man who doesn't get a say in anything because he doesn't own himself. Because he doesn't own himself. Yeah.
You know how like in this fight is better in the future? Link that to Nigel and Black Diggers and say how they both try to, you know how Nigel rallies to like.
And and she writes letters to try and get more. Yeah. That would actually be a good bit when we get to the comparison. We could actually talk about that. Okay, so let's do the chapel. Lydia, both don't have control over their lives because they're marginalised people. Okay. Both Chapel and Lydia in. Now you can shorten the longest memory, but you have to do it in your intro. So you need to do this little wonder where you go, which tells me, hey, I'm going to do that for the rest of the essay because I'm lazy and I'm not going to write the whole thing again.
3 hours, 3 essays.
Yeah. Just tell them that you're going to do it by actually doing that. It's like, from now on, I will refer to them as this because I lazy. Yeah. Have no, what do you call it? What do you call it? Like, not control over your own, like, they have no autonomy? Autonomy? Yeah?
That word is. Something easier.
Autonomy.
So the majority
It means,
of Victoria will get 4 and 5 and 6, and they're the ones that don't know autonomy.
So the word autonomy means like control over yourself. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like autonomous car, the car drives itself.
It's an autonomous car.
So my car is autonomous.
Or
No,
it's automatic
it's not.
because it changes gears by itself. You don't need a clutch.
Oh, so I have an autonomy car.
Or you've got an
Autonomous.
car.
Oh, bloody hell.
Does that make sense? It's an automatic car.
He's smarter than he's putting on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this.
No, I get, yeah.
Yeah.
But I like what he's doing. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna autonomy fail English.
Probably if you do that.
How does that one?
I don't think it's too late to fail.
No, it's not.
It's never too
We
late.
had a kid last year that failed on this sack.
True, that's true.
Last
You
one,
can
yeah.
fail.
Yeah, so we
Yeah. Don't.
And I love it, mate.
Yeah.
It shores the numbers up.
He wouldn't have done that badly.
Oh, so that was a disappointment. So one of the poor kid
man.
choices.
Choices. Due to their margin. Oh no, I can't use marginalised. What was the other one? Due to their.
No, they're not underprivileged.
They're not underprivileged. They're kind of like.
Subordinate positions.
Yes.
Subordinate status.
Positions in society.
Why is he writing on these desks? I'm looking at desks.
Ooh. Times and a woman. Full stop.
A black man and a woman during in
Yeah.
19th century
In 19th
Virginia.
century, yeah. During, what is it? It's 19th century.
Virginia. In
The 19th century. Full stop. Alright, now I need a quote or something that will ensure that I am correct. So both Chapel and Lydia in the longest memory have no autonomy over their own choices due to their subordinate positions in society, a black man and a woman in the South during the 19th century. How can I prove that? I need a quote, I need a scene, I need a something to be able to get me over the line.
There was that one where it's like, Lydia and her father is like, maybe not now, but in the next century.
Oh, yeah.
No, your children.
Yeah.
Next century?
Yeah, it says next century, something about next century. maybe in the next century.
Yeah, the next.
And she's heartbroken. Yeah, she's like, I can't wait that long. Because I'll put it on her face. 88. Oh yeah. After Lydia's father prevents her from socializing with Chapel, he tells her that perhaps in the next century it would be possible for them to not be together. He doesn't ever imply that they could ever be together. Like as in like, but like that they could be equals. Yeah.
Together, you never see a black child and a white child together.
I don't even know if they're like that. He's implying that they could be equal. It's more like that they could be friends. Yeah.
They could be free.
Yeah.
For slaves to be free. It's not women. Women are not even part of that equation.
No. For black and white people to be friends, this causes Lydia
distress.
Total despair, she says.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a great quote.
Total despair.
Is that page 88?
Yeah.
This is for my study.
Last week
So you're just writing it and you're just trying to...
Yeah. Yeah. And they're thinking about it. Some sessions are better than others. No, I think it's the wrong mix of kids. Right. Hey, I'm dragging you along. Right. So I've got my evidence is both Chapel and Lydia in the longest memory have no autonomy over their own choices due to their subordinate positions in society, a black man and a woman in the South during the 19th century.
That's great.
After Lydia's father prevents her from socializing with Chapel, she tells her that perhaps in the next century it would be possible for black and white people to be friends. This causes Lydia total despair, and she shakes her head in disappointment. Okay? So that's my evidence. Now, can you see how I've used my quotes there? That I'm not memorizing big bits. I'm just kind of going, oh, I remember it says total despair. I remember that she says that she's disappointed. I remember that it says I shake my head. You know, like I remember the little bits. I don't necessarily remember big slabs. You're not expected to know big slabs. You're expected to know the book. That you can go, oh, I remember she says that bit about total despair. Okay? You got to know the book.
You're just using that to symbolize how she failed.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm going to go explanation. This scene demonstrates blah, 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 blah. Right? What does it demonstrate? What does this scene demonstrate? The lack of power that both, no, I'm going to use yours, that both Chapel and Lydia have over their lives due to Chapel's status as a slave and her own as a woman who would have no control over her social circle and potential mates, or potential. I don't want to use mate because it's kind of like spouse. Over her social circle and potential spouse. Okay, thank you. Control. All right.
It's happy with that double L. actually.
Oh, sorry.
No, it wasn't happy with that.
Yeah, it must have changed it when I went control. It must have gone troll. You must mean troll. Yes, I'm often writing about troll. I write a lot of fiction.
Think about bridges, yeah.
Yeah. Who would have no control? Okay.
With a comparison.
Wait, you don't do comparison with end though, because of the last one.
Similarly or dissimilar. So your second example,
Yeah.
why are you bringing it up? Is it backing up or is it?
Oh,
is
so it's
it
like analysing.
disagreeing?
You're putting comparison in the second bit, and then you're
Yeah.
finishing off with comparison again.
Yeah.
Or then you.
It just creates a nice little flow. That's all.
Yeah.
It creates a nice little
This one
segue.
backs it up. This one
Yeah.
goes against.
Yeah.
This example.
Just all you're saying is like unlike, so you're not really doing much effort in it.
No.
I-
Well, you can. I mean, you could start analysing straight up at a basic level.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. If I had more time, I would take that explanation a little further, just because I would, because there's more I could say. But I don't have time, so I'm gonna shut
Or
up
you
and
can
keep
save
moving.
it for later.
Yeah. Okay, now I give my evidence from my second text. I'm not going to have time to write it up. Let's just kind of decide what we want to use. What do we want to use that show because of their status they can't have a better future? Who do we want to use?
The dad.
Nigel and the letter.
The daddy.
What, the one where Stan comes up to this one, is it Harry?
Stan and Harry. Yeah.
Oh.
And he has the suit and he's a bit like
Yeah.
But is there hope in that scene? Does the
Yeah.
Indigenous
They're
man
not
have
really
hope?
kind of trying to go for hope though.
No.
He's just like he has nothing. That's his status. But we don't see him ever expressing hope. But Harry's not there. Yeah, I think Nigel's the best one to go with. Yeah. Nigel
Nigel's Chapel, really.
and the letter Niji. Nigel and the letter is hoping for social change and is fighting for it with words. However, he is silenced
By white journalists.
by white journalists.
Wouldn't you say both? Because the same as Long's memory and Black Diggers, he's not fighting for change. He's
Excellent. Trivialise his message. I like
he's not.
Oh! Ooh! Illuminati. Must be. What's the matter?
Doesn't matter. I was gonna say something. I forgot.
Okay. Alright.
Shit.
Millimeter. Okay. Don't do that. That's dangerous. Don't think. It's dangerous. Alright. So, the evidence that I'm going to use is Nigel in the letter. I'm going to talk about how he was hoping for social change and he's fighting for it with words. However, he's silenced by white journalists who trivialise his message because of, that they're more interested in the fact that he's an Aboriginal guy who's got nice handwriting than actually the message that he's trying to get across, which shows us that, because of his status in society, nobody can hear his message. You know, because he's Aboriginal, it doesn't matter what he says, they're still like, wow, look at that ape man writing. Like, they don't realise, you know, how important it is what he's saying. Well, they choose not to realise. Okay, so that's going to be my explanation. Can't get his message across because people are too
Focused on the anomaly of a black man, articulate black man.
The novelty of a articulate black man. Okay, now we get to a bit that I'm like, we need to talk about it. Comparison. The C in the teakle. Now, before we get to the C in the teakle, I would just kind of say here, where you go into your second piece of evidence of the other book, it is nice to kind of have a little segue thing, like a similarly or whatever, you know, like having a little kind of segue, a little dangle of comparison there, where you're like, I am making a link between these two. I will get back to it in a moment, but just so you know, these are similar. Yeah, does that make sense? So it's just like a little, nice little, it's a bit like how we use link sentences when you move from like one article to the next article in our language analysis. It's a kind of similar thing where it's just like, I'm just going to create a nice little, that's, there you go. I keep forgetting that I'm recording and then I see myself and I'm like, what are you doing? Alright, so C. So, how would we compare these? How are they similar? How are they different? Why am I saying similar?
In both stories, they're both instantly blocked because of what happens in society, what people believe. So like they instantly can't be together because the white child, whatever his name, he doesn't want it. And the Nigel is blocked straight away because of who he is. Both of them. Society doesn't let them. Society blocks them. Instantly. Or they're not treated seriously because of who they are. Something like that.
Love it. Well done, Ty. You're killing it. Pow, 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 pow. So in both examples, these characters are blocked from their dreams because of who society sees them as. Their labels are what holds them back. That's a really good comparison. I love that. What could we say? There's difference. However, because I like in this bit of the C, I like to go, there are similarities, however, there is a slight difference as well, because that kind of adds sophistication to your comparison, that you're not just kind of going, yes, these are the same. You're going, yes, they are the same, but unlike so-and-so, this one does this. So that way you're kind of going, there's some complexity there. Do you know what I mean? Is that just me? Do you like that? You don't like that? You don't like doing differently? Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I
guess everyone's different.
Good stuff though, so I like what you come up with.
Yeah.
I'm not just right, but could you talk about how in the oldest memory it also talks about how gender,
Good. So we could say, something like, however, Black Diggers does not give a voice to gender discrimination as it focuses solely on racial discrimination. Yeah? And what's saying, I think that's really nice because you're kind of going, I see that there is some distinct similarities. However, this one is doing something that this one doesn't do. Obviously, I would like that worded a lot better, but it's definitely at least getting us the ideas down, which is, that's the thing. You can pretty this up at home. And I would suggest that you pretty this up at home, but it gets our idea out, which I think is the thing that we're really aiming for.
Well, that's because of time passing though, because you've got to remember that
it's not. Oh,
They're
it's
at
not
the
that.
same
It's
time.
like, I think, longest.
1788 to now and 1810.
Do you mean in terms of when it was published? How'd you go?
The storyline. Really?
Well, 1810, right? And 1788.
Yeah, how'd you go?
I didn't finish it, but I did quite a lot. Like I've got one more paragraph.
Black Diggers just goes for longer. For 18, it's just
Bye.
They were like 60, 70 years apart.
No. No,
Cool.
1788 to now and 1810. It's in line.
And if you're talking about like when they were written,
Generations.
if you're talking about when they were actually contextually written,
Yeah.
Longest Memory was written in the 90s and Black Diggers was written in 2014. So not that bigger.
No, I mean
Yeah.
the timeline and actually the
In terms of,
40 years, so
Yeah, there's a bit of difference, but not massive. Yeah. All right. So then after you've got your comparison, you put your link sentence, which is basically your topic sentence anyway. Done.
it's that easy.
Happy? Too bad if you're not.
That was good.
Yeah?
Very clean. What would we give her for this? I would give her like a 9.
Well, she only did one argument and one introduction.
I think I'd give her a 10.
Oh, I didn't know I was getting that.
I'd give you a 9.
Oh,
mate.
thank you.
I'd give you a 9.
I wasn't going to go
That was
that
a great lesson.
high, but
That was a great lesson. I enjoyed that. It's really stimulating.
okay. Are you pulling my chain?
No, I don't pull chains.
Yes, you do.
I don't pull chains. Where do I pull chains?
All right. Can I turn the recording off now?
No. Must say goodbye to your YouTube.
Goodbye.
Oh, you know what? How blue are your eyes in that? Crazy. See how blue they are? It's crazy.
I can't see how blue they are. That's my eye.
Oh, when you go back and watch the last